Reading Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, 5th chapter, text 16. Lokaha swayam shreyasi nasta dristi yo arthan samhet nikama kamaha anyonya vaira sukale sahetu ananta dukam chana veda mudaha. Lokaha, people, swayam, personally, shreyasi, of the path of auspiciousness, nasta dristi, who have lost sight, yaha, who are done things meant for sense gratification, samiheta, desire, nikama kamaha, having too many lusty desires for sense enjoyment, anyonya vairaha, been envious of one another, sukhalesa hetoho, simply for temporary material happiness, ananta dukam, unlimited suffering, cha, also, na, do not, veda, no, mudaha, foolish. Due to ignorance, the materialistic person does not know anything about his real self-interest. The auspicious path in life is simply bound to material enjoyment by lusty desires, and all his plans are made for this purpose. For temporary sense gratification, such a person creates a society of envy, and due to this mentality, he plunges into the ocean of suffering. Such a foolish person does not even know about this. Due to ignorance, the materialistic person does not know anything about his real self-interest. The auspicious path in life is simply bound to material enjoyment by lusty desires, and all his plans are made for this purpose, for temporary sense gratification. Such a person creates a society of envy, and due to this mentality, he plunges into the ocean of suffering. Such a foolish person does not even know about this. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The word nasta dristihi, meaning one who has no eyes to see the future, is very significant in this verse. Life goes on from one body to another, and the activities performed in this life are enjoyed or suffered in the next life, if not later in this life. One who is unintelligent, who has no eyes to see the future, simply creates enmity and fights with others for sense gratification. As a result, one suffers in this life, but due to being like a blind man, he continues to act in such a way that he suffers unlimitedly. Such a person is a muda, one who simply wastes his time and does not understand the Lord's devotional service, as stated in the Bhagavad Gita. Naham prakasha sarvasya yoga maya samamrita mudoyam na bijanante lokamam ajamavyayam. I am never manifest to the foolish and unintelligent. For them I am covered by my eternal creative potency, Yogamaya. And so the deluded world knows me not, who am unborn and infallible. In the Katha Upanishad is also said, Avidyayam antare vartamanaha swayam dhiraha panditam manyamanaha. Although ignorant, people still go to other blind man for leadership. As a result, both are subject to miserable condition. The blind lead the blind into the ditch. Omagyanatimirandasya gyananam gyanam salakaya Chaksodan militam yena tasmai Shri Guruve namaha Shri Chaitanya manodishtam sarvitam yena bhutale Swayam rupa gadamam gadati swapadandikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutabada Kamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagajatam Sagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Shadvidam Shavadutam Parijanam Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakam Vitam Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gorangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sutta Devi Pranamami Hare Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubheva Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namarom Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So thank you very much for joining in on our Saturday program, Srimad Bhagavatam 5.5.16. So here the subject matter gets more, what we say, the word intriguing, yeah? Because he's explaining all the consequence of trying to become ignorant. Yes? So when we become ignorant, then our life gets into a very inauspicious path. This is Sanskrit, is it? Lokam Swayam Shreyasi. Shreyasi means very auspicious. The two words, no? Shreya and Preya, correct? Shreya is ultimate good and Preya is temporary good. So these two words are there. Yeah? So what is ultimate good? Cannot see. Why cannot see? Nasta drishti. Drishti means see. Nasta means cannot see. Why he cannot see? Because he is going for arthan, sense gratification. So if a person goes for sense gratification, trying to enjoy the senses, then he is become blinded. You know where it is stated the same point, that you go and enjoy your senses, you get blinded, cannot see. Bhagavad Gita. Who knows?
244.
Yes. So 244. Samadao na vidiyate. Huh? Samadao na vidiyate. Cannot what? So Bhoga Aishwarya Prashaktanam Tayapartu Setasham. Those who are going to enjoy the senses, huh? In the minds of those who are too attached to sense enjoyment and material opulence, bewildered by such things, the resolute determination for devotional service to Supreme Lord does not take place. So the sense gratification does not lead you to God consciousness. Where else is said this? Who knows? So many places, I think. Yes, the whole Bhagavad Gita is full of the whole Bhagavatam. Can you tell me some words? Hello, Pandit? Kerala Pandit. Huh? Bhagavad Gita? 7:15. 7:15. What's that? Okay, we'll go there and see what he says and see, check it out. This is different words, huh? Those miscreants who are grossly foolish are lowest among mankind, whose knowledge is stolen by illusion. Yes, he's got a point. Whose knowledge is stolen by illusion and who partake of the atheistic nature of demons do not surrender unto me. So again, it is quite right, because this verse also says they cannot surrender to the Lord. What other verse? Anybody? Bhagavad Gita. So those who take part in this sense gratification, their knowledge gets stolen and they get very much subject to demonic culture. What else? Anyone? Bhagavad Gita? Huh? What was? Huh? 262. Oh, that attraction for Maya like that. That's the verse, no? Correct? So you get attracted to sense gratification, ultimately you fall down. So here I see how you get attracted to sense gratification. While contemplating the object with senses, a person develops attachment for them, and from such attachment, lust develops. From lust, anger arises. Let us go to the next verse. From anger, complete delusion arises, and from delusion, bewilderment of memory. When memory is bewildered, intelligence lost. When intelligence is lost, one falls down again in the material pool. So also says you fall down. But the interesting point here is that they cannot see. That is the thing here. Nasta dristi. That when you get into sense gratification, you lose your bearings. You become bewildered, you cannot see. You cannot? You understand? That means you get, that's why Krishna said in Prabhupada quoted this verse, no? 725. Huh? Naham sarvasha, naham prakasha sarvasha. Cannot see. You understand? This is the very important point. When you get into sense gratification, you become bewildered that you cannot see. You cannot. This is explained here. Many times we have shown you this verse. Are you going Sankirtan? So early. Huh?
Three different temples.
What temple?
Narayana Shivan temple, then after one of us go to Putu and the Perumal temple.
So early.
Sundar Gopāl. Yes.
So you see here in this verse, we've shown this verse many, many times. My dear Arjuna, one who does not follow in the human life the cycle of sacrifices established by the Vedas certainly leads a life full of sin. So this living in sinful life for the satisfaction of the senses, such a person lives in vain. So sense gratification bewilders. In Sanskrit, the word is moha. Is that? Mogam. It becomes what? Naham prakasha sarvasya, yogamaya samamrita. You cannot see. That's why sense gratification leads to bewilderment of memory that you cannot understand why you're doing this. Understand? And this thing starts off particularly with what is that verse? Pumsam Stri Maituna Etat. So this is the beginning, the what do you call that? Conditioning becomes more rigid when there is what? Connection with the opposite sex. Then completely you become bewildered. Janasya mohohyam aham mameti. Right? You see how this whole thing is. You see, that's why it says that attachment is not complete until when one get attached to the opposite sex. Then that's it, you bewildered. When you start thinking in terms of I and mine, then the conditioning is complete. See? You understand? That's why the word is Sukham Lesa, today's verse, What is it for? For happiness which is very insignificant. Sukham Lesa, what's the other word? Huh? Sukham Lesa, Hetu. For temporary happiness, you get bewildered. Completely bewildered. You cannot see. Understand? You cannot. That's why sense gratification is very, very dangerous. Now, okay, you cannot see it, that's all right. You cannot see you be in Maya. But the problem is that when you go on this kind of a mode, then you see the next line, it says the word Vaira. Anyo, Vaira. What is Vaira? Enviousness. Envious. You see, when you get into this enviousness, then what is that? Ananta? See how it goes all in sequence. And you cannot see. You become so conditioned, you think you are the body, then you become envious, then what happens? you become more and more miserable. See? You understand? How dangerous this thing is. There's a price to pay for trying to become un-Krishna conscious. See? Do you know the same point that I've explained many, many times? Do you know where else this point has been spoken of? I've shown this so many times. Do you know where? Hello? So many times I repeat this sequence. You know? Anybody? Hello? Panditji is going on Sankirtan.
6151.
Huh?
6151. 991. Bhagavad Gita 912.
Two places. 422 and
31. Soul is love.
yeah, now you know. And 11,
38. 1027.
11, I think it's 20, 20, 21, I think, 21. That's, he's living like a useless tree.
11, 21.
Huh?
11, 21.
Yeah, these are the verses that correspond with this. Many times I have shown that. Okay, let's go anyway, so that you understand. 422, 31, is it? 30. No, 30, 32 or 33. Let's see. Thirty-one, no? So this verse, you see, I've shown many times corresponding to this sense gratification. When one deviates from his original consciousness, he loses the capacity to remember his previous position or recognize his present one. When remembrance is lost, all knowledge acquired is based on false foundation. When this occurs, learned scholars consider that the soul is lost. You understand? Consequence of sense gratification. You follow?
Previous verse also said that.
Huh?
Previous verses also.
Which previous one? 30. 30, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is about the grass, sucking up the water. When one's mind and senses are attracted to sense objects for enjoyment, the mind becomes agitated. As a result of continually thinking of sense object, one's real consciousness almost becomes lost. See how? Like the water in a lake that is gradually sucked up by the big grass straws on its bank. These are the verses that go with this idea that you finish your what? You follow? Huh? So sense gratification leads to contaminated consciousness, bewilderment, and the soul is. And today's world, you don't even know. You don't even. Again, that's the verse, no? That Shrotra Vidhini Rajendra. Apasyantam Atma Tattvam. Apasyantam Nasta Drishti. The same thing. Nasta Drishti and Apasyantam Atma Tattva. He cannot see. He cannot bewildered. As Krishna said in the Bhagavad Gita, Moham sa jivati. He lives in illusion. He cannot understand. You understand? That's why when you preach to such people, you get frustrated because they cannot understand. Have you tried talking to these guys? Huh? They cannot see. You say one thing, they say, you foolish, you don't know what is the goal, what kind of pleasure you get by sense gratification. You understand? Huh? See how this sense gratification is so bewildering. That's explained also in this same point. You see here? So this verse is the same thing as 262, 263, huh? One who accepts material sense object as desirable suddenly becomes attached to them. From such attachment, lust arises, and when this lust creates quarrel among men. From quarrel arise intolerable anger, followed by darkness of ignorance, as this ignorance quickly overtakes a man's broad intelligence. O saintly Uddhava, a person bereft of real intelligence is considered to have lost everything. Deviated from the actual purpose of his life, he becomes dull, just like a dead person. See, all these verses are related. So, sense gratification leads to the mode of ignorance, and ignorance brings you to the point of you being no better than a dull, dead person. You see this? Huh? So see how dangerous it is. What's wrong being a dull, dangerous person? Of course, not only dull and dangerous, we have also read, we become very envious. Krishna said in the Bhagavad Gita, what do you say about this envious person? Anyone knows what he say about envious person in the Bhagavad Gita?
Don't preach.
Huh? Don't preach.
1611, I cast them into the.
Huh?
I cast them into the 19.
Oh, he cast them into lower and lower species. That's one thing. He also said, this knowledge cannot be
Understood.
preached to them. That means they got no access. Krishna says you cannot give this knowledge to such people also. You see? So enviousness is, you see, there's another verse. It says that karma, what is that? What is that verse? Karma, you can use karma for
Kama Krishna.
Krishna Arpanam, and then
Desho.
anger, krodha. What is that verse? Can you take it out for me? Huh? Huh? Karma. Oh, I'm going.
One word, karma.
Karma, one word, arpane. Or two.
One word.
K-R, I can't see. K-R-A-M. Krama. K-A-R. Huh? Karma arpane.
Not two words, one word. Only one A. Yeah.
That karma arpanam.
Karma Pranay.
Arpane. Arpana.
Pranay. MD.
I can't see the letters. Looks like I'm getting old now. This is the word. Is that word? It's in the CC, you know. It's in the CC. Maybe Prabhupada quoted in the lecture. Huh? Okay, here see. Kama Krishna arpane, Krodha Bhakta Dvishejane, Lobha Sadhu Sange, Harikata, Moha Ista Labhe, Vine Mada. So this quality, you see here, lust, you can use lust. I will engage lust, anger and greed, illusion, madness, envy and pride in appropriate ways. By defeating these enemies, I feel happiness in my heart. As I am peacefully worship Govinda, I will engage lust by offering at Krishna's service. Anger I will direct towards those who are envious of the devotees. I will be greedy to hear the topics of Hari in the association of devotees. And I feel illusion without achieving my worshipful Lord. I will be maddened while singing the glories of Krishna. In this way, I will engage these enemies in their proper places. So, see how we engage our lust, our anger. Lust is what? Engage lust by offering it in Krishna's service. That's who do that? The gopis, huh? And then anger, I will direct towards those who are envious of the devotees, just like Hanuman, he went and what? Used his anger on Ravana, right? Yeah? Then I will be greedy to hear the topics of Hari. Greed is employed in hearing about. I will feel illusion without achieving my worshipable Lord. And I'll be maddened while singing the glories of Krishna. So you see here, envy, how to employ it. Lust is there, anger is there, greed is there, illusion is there, madness is there, envy where?
To improve ourselves in Krishna service by seeing others, doing more service.
You should write that down here now. Can you see that what I'm trying to point out is that envy got no room. No room. Enviousness is a very bad quality. Difficult to use it in Krishna service. You follow this point? So therefore, to give up envy, how to do that? How to give up envy? Last year, employ in Krishna, anger, against those who are demons. Greed is to What is that verse? You know, there's one verse about greed. You know that verse? Laulyam, that verse? Huh? Krishna Bhakti. That verse, Prabhupada used that verse to translate into Krishna consciousness. What is that verse? Where? What number? I will come back here. I have to come back here. What is that? It's a thing from Bhakti Rasam to Sindhu, I think, that verse. So you see how this lust can be employed, anger can be employed. Huh? 8? 8.70. Krishna Bhakti Rasa Bhavita Madihi Kriyantam Yado Sutopi Labhyate Tatra Lavlyam Api Mulyam Ekalam Janma Koti Sukriti Na Labhyate. Pure devotional service in Krishna consciousness cannot be had even by pious activity in hundreds and thousands of lives. It can be attained only by paying one price, that is intense greed to obtain it. If it is available somewhere, one must purchase it without delay. So intense greed. Greed can be employed for wanting devotional service. And illusion can be applied, feeling that without Krishna I cannot survive. And of course, madness is one of the spiritual quality, asta, sattvika, vikar. When a person becomes crazy, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he exhibited that symptom of craziness. Yes? Correct? So where is the question of putting envy here? Hello? Become envious of the non-devotees. Can. So you see here, the word envy hasn't got any room. So, and then you get into sense gratification. Today we are reading, what? Vaira. What Vaira? Anyunya Vaira, right? Right? So you see how dangerous it is that when we get into sense gratification, we develop this one quality called envy, and it's so detrimental for our spiritual progress. Of course, envy come about even in our devotee circle when we become envious of other devotees. When someone is doing better, we become envious. That's dangerous. That's what? Dangerous. Because to become envious of a devotee, then it leads to offenses. Correct? Among all kind of offense, what is the most dangerous offense? Vaishnava Aparad. This is number one line in our chanting. If you commit offenses to the devotee, you cannot chant. The beginning of the whole life is what? And you see how dangerous it is. So enviousness leads to, of course, we talk about devotee circle, then it leads to offenses to devotees. And among all kind of offenses to devotees is the topmost. And then immediately what develops? Fall down. That you saw in the case of who? Example? Who? Two examples. Who? Huh? One is that sage who went underwater. Saubari. Huh? Vishwamitra. What did he got to do? Saubhari Muni was envious of Garuda, correct? And he fell down. Yes? Who else? Two persons, no? He was both of them, they were fighting. But enviousness, there's two examples. One is the Saubhari Muni. What's the other one? Very common. Come on. Amoga. Moga, yeah. But yeah? Durvasha with Ambrish Maharaj. He was envious of Ambrish Maharaj. So you can see how this is very bad quality. So how the devotee overcome this problem? 7, 7, 15, 23. By discussing spiritual knowledge, one can conquer lamentation and illusion. By serving a great devotee, one becomes prideless. By keeping silence, one can avoid obstacles on the part of mystic yoga. And simply by stopping sense gratification, one can conquer envy. Whole subject matter is that today. Huh? So, of course, in our devotee circle, how we do that? Huh? 4:30, 35. What is that? What is that? Not only that, but they are no longer envious of one another, nor do they suffer from anxiety or fear when they discuss about Krishna. But now I'm talking about a devotee circle. How to do this? Idea? How? How to do? How? Only because that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Chapal Gopal, Gopal Chapal was his name, he was envious of Srivats. So he arranged all the what? Durga Puja, all these things. And after 3 days he got leprosy. He got? So he was sitting on the bank because he cannot stay in the village because of his leprosy. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu passed by and he asked, "You delivering everybody, please deliver me. You are a sinful rascal. Because of offense to Srivats, you will have to suffer for millions of years." And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left him there. Then after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas and came, again he was suffering. He asked, "What shall I do?" He said, "Unless you go and pay your obeisances to Srivas and ask for forgiveness, you cannot be delivered from your sins." The same thing was also told to Durvasha Muni. Yes? Huh? Saubhari, I don't remember he paying obeisance to Garuda. Right? Did you have any words? So the point is this, that unless we go and pay obeisances to the devotee that we have become envious of, it's very difficult to neutralize the offense. The classic example is Durvasha Muni. He went everywhere. Huh? He went to Vaikuntha. But the Lord says, "I cannot help you." So you see how this quality is so detrimental. Very dangerous. You understand? So For a devotee, of course, for a non-devotee, sense gratification lead to envy. It's a fact. Every living entity comes to this two world with two qualities. What is that? Seven. What is it? Icha, divisa, desire and hate, envy. Divisa means also envy. So these two qualities are inborn in a living entity the moment he takes birth. So by Krishna consciousness he gets free from this two bad qualities. Only by Krishna consciousness he can overcome this desire and enviousness. But if as a devotee he cultivates this enviousness, then it's very dangerous. Then is what? So the only recourse is to go and pay obeisance. Because this envy, it will go on and on and on in the mind. And it's very dangerous. It's very That's why Krishna, singled them out. In the Bhagavad Gita, he said, this confidential knowledge may never be explained to those who are not austere or devoted or engaged in devotional service, not to one who is envious of me. See the point? So this enviousness is, even Krishna rejects them. Krishna, very dangerous. So we should try to be very careful that of course lust you can engage and anger you can engage and greed you can engage. But envy, we have to make sure that we do not keep in our heart. Because if we keep that, then Krishna doesn't like that. In fact, Srimad Bhagavatam is what? Verse number? This what cannot be spoken to what? No. What is that verse? Nimatsara. Those who are envious, they cannot understand Bhagavatam. See? So in other words, now we read the verse, when there's hearing about Krishna, then people give up the enviousness, right? Just now we quoted that verse, 4:30, So if you are becoming envious, then even Krishna's attraction does not come to you. You understand? You cannot become attracted to the glories of Krishna. That's very dangerous. Krishna cuts you off immediately. So therefore we have to be very, very careful with this vaira, this very bad quality, envy. So the best way, that's why we have our whole program is that morning we pay obeisances to all the olden times we pay obeisance in the morning. Before we sleep also we pay obeisances 2 times. So by doing that, whatever we keep in the heart will become nullified. Will become nullified. So the heart, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Amoga, the heart is a very pure place. Why are you keeping these dirty things in your heart? If we keep this dirty thing, then Krishna will not manifest himself in our heart. So we have to be very, very cautious on this. So sense gratification leads to bewilderment, intelligence loss, then all bad qualities develop. And the greatest bad quality is to become envious. Very dangerous. So we have to be very careful, especially for us in the devotee circle. We should be very Careful not to be envious of each other. Right? So we should definitely go and serve the devotee who we are feeling a little bit, envious. We should definitely go, bow down, clear our matter, not keep all this thing in our heart. This is very dangerous. So you understand this? Any questions on this point?
Maybe if a devotee is not there anymore, that you can, if you are envious upon some devotee, but that devotee is not present anymore, that you can go and ask for forgiveness.
At least mentally you should do it. Mentally you should pay obeisances and clear it up. You should try to meditate on the good side of a person. Rather than seeing the fall, you should try to see the good side. Then all this thing will disappear. See? Because the material world is always fault finding. You're coming from there, you work from there, and that's all it teaches you. Correct? Always backbiting, backstabbing, envy. This is the material world. So if you bring that into devotee circle, it's going to be dangerous. We have to be very, very careful. Because Krishna is in our heart, no? Correct? And immediately all material desires will manifest again in our heart. And then fall down just like Saubari Muni. Eh? Fall down. Huh? Daksha, yeah. Daksha, he got his head cut. How much he was envious of his son-in-law. He thought the son-in-law must worship the father-in-law.
If you say like that against the ISKCON Gurus, why is it not offensive?
Prabhupada said to call a thief is no offense. If someone has made a mistake and you're pointing it out, it's not offense. But someone who's innocent and you say, then that's not correct. Right? And we are not envying them. We are pointing out the mistake that they have unauthorizingly taken up the position of guruship against the order of Prabhupada. Whether they are doing this or that, we are not bothered. Right? Is that any contention on our part? If he does, anything? Only this one thing, what is it? It's against Prabhupada's order. And this is a very important point. Because if you disobey the order of the spiritual master, as Prabhupada said, you become useless. And you follow a useless person, then now you become useful. Right? Possible? Minus become plus. Huh? So we should be very careful in this aspect. That's why I see the quality of a very pure devotee. What is the quality of the pure devotee? Huh? A pure devotee is advanced in undivided devotional service and whose heart is completely devoid of the propensity to criticize others. See this point here? So to become envious means to become critical, of course. Constructive criticism, that's another thing. Right? Heart is pure. So we see how we should be very careful trying to not get into that. Right? Become worse when two envious people sit together. That enviousness multiplied, squared. You understand? So dangerous. This is where it becomes a separatist. Starts a separatist movement. Two envious people get together, correct? Team up. That's why association must be with advanced devotee, especially someone who has got no propensity to criticize others. If you go and associate with someone also the same, then what did they say? Misery meets company. Is that the word? Huh? So you see how this becomes a Prabhupada writes that about that in the 12, 12, 9, 12, 9, 12, 8, I think, somewhere. So it becomes a schism, right? So then it becomes a group. And then 2 fractions, 4 fractions, like this is fractionized. That's why Kali Yuga is always what? Iron age of quarrel and hypocrisy. Hypocrite is what? An envious person. Yeah? So see how this quality is breeding in Kali Yuga rampantly. And we become victim, then finish. So we have to be very careful not to keep this quality in our heart. Then Krishna will not manifest his mercy on us. More dangerous, we will fall down. That's even worse. Right? So we should definitely clear it up and have nothing in our heart. No contamination. That's why it says that devotee, others may be his enemy, but the devotee doesn't have any, you know the verse? Huh? Ajata Satru. He doesn't have any enemy. Others may be enemy to him, but he doesn't. So that's how a devotee's quality is. You see? So we have to be very careful in this.
This is how to stay protected, Prabhu, because you.
You have to speak up. I'm growing old.
Prabhu, in this case, how to stay protected, because you are not how to protect yourself, because you try to keep your heart clean, but you might be treated in that case also. If you are
No, that's why you see, you when you say you want to keep your heart clean, it's all based on a mental perception. I tell you what happens when you go with your mind. Failing to conquer the irrepressible enemy, the mind whose urges are intolerable and torments the heart, many people are completely bewildered and create useless quarrel with others. Thus, they conclude that other people are either their friends, their enemies, or parties indifferent to them. See how this mind works? Huh? You see that? So if you go with your mind, this is what the mind gets you going. He's my friend, he's my enemy. Huh? But then you team up together, speak about that person, then all this envy breed more and more.
Nature, how to stay protected?
How to?
How to stay protected in
How to get protected with this? The first thing is not to listen to the mind. Engaging the mind in Krishna's service and taking association of devotees who are advanced. That's why politics is so bad. Politicians and 2%. Politician and huh? Women. God, all glories to the women. We are not against you, but what to do? Because they are, you understand, the chemistry gets very contaminating. So I need strong association, strong discipline. Wake up in the morning, attend the program. All these are all part and parcel of the whole thing. Understand? How to stay? Then you come to the pure platform, then you won't be contaminated. Right? You follow? So you have to be very cautious. Extremely cautious. You follow? Huh? Yes? Otherwise, this envy come in our heart, it's going to be tough. Very, very dangerous for organization. The organization collapsed because of this. You understand? Teaming up, ganging up, doing all kind of things. Fighting, somebody don't like you, team up again. Or, all these are part of this enviousness. That's why we are very careful to make sure that we don't get trapped by this kind of a behavior. You understand? You can keep 40 mustaches in a room, but you cannot keep 4 brass in the room, Prabhupada said. You don't understand? Please explain to him. You don't understand? You please explain. Maybe the woman can explain. Understand? You can keep 40 men in the room, no problem. But if you keep 2 women, just 2, 4 breasts. How many? See how the mind dangerous. So we have to be very, very cautious how we deal spiritually. It's not that you're bad, but we have to understand, you have to uplift. You have to uplift to the Krishna conscious platform. If you don't come to the Krishna conscious platform, then all these bad qualities will breed. You understand? And these topics are very pleasing. Oh, you know what? What? Understand? We get all contaminated. Our problem starts one after the other. The whole war, there were 2 big wars. They were started by who? Who? By you. Who? Yes. But Mahabharata started by who? Ramayana started by who? Say how? So you see, I'm not saying they're going to start a war, but I'm saying we have to uplift the consciousness, that you understand that you're not the woman, you are spirit soul. Then yeah, everything is okay.
But in the Ramayana and Mahabharata, the character of Sita and Draupadi are top-notch. But it's the men who were the white guys who were husky and so how can we blame?
No, we don't blame them, but it is just that they were instrumental in getting it going. Ravana, because he was extremely lusty over Sita, so Ram used her to be a reason to kill him. Again, Draupadi was instrumental. And the 2 persons that Krishna and Ram killed first were what? Women. The first 2 persons they killed, who that? Who? Taraka man? Who? See? So try to understand, we are not against, but we are against women who are doing all this nonsense. So devotee means different, there are no more women, they are spirit soul. Prabhupada said, no, you was walking and talking like this, and then he pointed to the woman devotee and said, but you all are not women, you are spirit soul. So our whole idea is to bring the consciousness to the higher level. Then everything is okay. That's why becoming Krishna conscious. Becoming. That is the idea of becoming Krishna conscious. We're not the body, we are spirit, soul, servants of Krishna. This is very, very important. If we downgrade ourselves to the bodily concept, then finish, we get into so many headaches. And this quality of enviousness is the first to come out. Enviousness is the what? First. Because me and mine. Oh, this is mine, that's yours. How come you have all enviousness?
if someone is envious,
What?
someone is envious to you, so in that case, what you should be doing? And you should just ignore and don't listen.
Envious of you, then you ignore. If you are envious, then you go down and clear up the matter. You understand? We should be aware what if we are getting into, and then pray to Krishna for strength. You know, we need strength. We need Krishna's mercy. That's why this verse, Trinadapi Sunichena, Taruapi Saisuna, Amanina. We always explain the two lines. This third line, Amanina means what?
Not expecting.
Not expecting anything in return. That is the way to do what? Counter enviousness. Paying respect to others and not expecting anything in return. First one is humility. Second one is tolerance. Third one is to counter this. That's why we need to be careful. So we bring in this bad quality, then as you said today's verse, everything is finished. Everything is finished. So these are obstacles in a devotee's life. You understand? So we should be very, very alert. Especially householders dealing with your wives, women. Huh? Can be very, very risky. If there's no strong spiritual program. Especially more so that you are out there associating with all these non-devotees. Huh? Their consciousness is plagued actually by all these bad qualities. And day in, day out, hours and hours. That's why there's a common thing, no? Office politics. Yeah? You're not involved, I'm sure. If you don't get involved, you another problem. Yeah? Yes? You see how your situation is? You're caught. You follow? So the mind, gets contaminated with all this kind of qualities. And spiritually it becomes dangerous. Because you try to apply that again in a devotee circle, then what happens? Huh? Again, we become what? This is the first thing that starts fighting, quarreling, bickering. These are the symptoms. These are symptoms. Because the worst thing is to be gone. Huh? So be careful on this point. We have to be very, very cautious. We have to be very humble, crying to Krishna to help us overcome this problem. Otherwise, it's Daniel become what? Split, huh? Camps. Inevitable. Automatically happens. Automatically. So many things. You can see so many examples. Right? Our society also. Why breaking up? Because envious of Guru. You want to become Guru so badly. Huh? Then? Very dangerous position. All right. 10 o'clock. Sorry. Got yourself going. Is there some questions? Someone is asking this question. 106441. What is that? 106441. What will happen if Brahmana hits old man or old lady? I don't know what kind of question is this. Why should hit some old man and old lady?
So, in that In that verse, it is explained that even if a Brahmana hits you or curse you, you should still pay obeisances and come back.
Oh, that's the verse. So it is there already. What will happen if Brahmana hits old man or old lady? Definitely it's an offense. Why he should hit? Huh? Somebody can answer to him. All right, we stop here then. Thank you very much.